Hey everyone, so today's little project has been sorting out this little setup within my bedroom. So I've had this on this right hand side of the bay window for quite a while, just not had a chance to actually rearrange this room correctly. So today I thought I've ordered a few parts, the wall mount and some of the trunking and stuff. So I thought I'd give it a go, just tidying all of this side of the room up essentially. The TV previously would have been on this actual stand. So we used to have the Technic system hooked up to this very TV, but in order to connect it you had to go from the optical out on the TV into a splitter. That will then convert the signal down into an analog, so digital to analog converter, and then it'd come into this. Now I don't know whether it was even getting anything more than stereo sound, and basically with the way the room, and also basically this is just a spare TV, even wall mounting it and getting it set up in this way is literally just to actually get some usage out of it. The TV had probably seen virtually no usage for quite some time. That's why I thought if I wall mount it, I've had it connected as a second monitor for my PC for quite a while anyway, so I thought this will just give it a little bit of extra use, make use of it, and basically save us just having to give this one away as well. With regards to the actual setup, so the wall mount that I've actually used is exactly the same one that I had on all the other TVs that I've got as well. So what I'll do is I'll insert a few photos that I took during the process. I didn't take too many because basically I was just in a rush to try and get everything sorted out. But essentially it's exactly the same way. So with this particular TV, because it's a 400 by 400 VESA pattern, it's actually the biggest out of all these TVs. So essentially I've got it in a cross motion, cross pattern, sorry, and that basically got it set up. I did also, the pack comes with some spacers. Sometimes you have to use them, sometimes you don't. In this instance I did actually make use of them, just because the back of the TV, as you'll see from the pictures, where the actual screw mounts go in, it's not actually flat. So because of that, if I just screwed straight on, essentially it would have been creasing the back plastic. So I just put a few spacers in there just to make sure that once it's actually clamping down, the space is actually going into the recessed area of the hole rather than the surround plastic, if you like. Other than that, the only real thing that I've got left to do at the moment is basically get another wall mount for my Orbi. At the moment, there's a few cables just running down here. That one there is for the Ethernet cable for the actual PC itself, and also the power cable. At the moment, I've not actually sorted everything out. And we've also got one separate one there. The bigger plug there is actually for the Orbi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of the little cable tidy boxes, and I'm going to put that inside the box rather than having it tucked behind anywhere. I did think about actually putting a power strip behind the TV, but essentially the way where it's actually set up, I've got a 8-plug surge protector behind all of this setup. So even if I do keep the Technic system, then I can actually get it plugged in and wire all of that back up again. At the moment, I'm literally just using the TV speakers. Obviously, I've got everything muted for the video. They do a good enough job for now. The Technic system obviously sounds a lot better, but it does take more setup. And in theory, I could even set it up properly, because I have actually got room either side to actually pull out the bigger speakers, put them there, and then basically make use of those. But to be honest, this TV won't actually get that much use. The only time this will actually get any use is whenever I'm just up here watching either a YouTube video or just watching a football match that I'm not really too bothered about. I just want it on in the background. But everybody else is, either my son's on the PS4 and my kids are using the other TV. So basically for that reason, I thought it's good to still have this available, just to watch the odd video here and there. The process in total probably took a couple of hours with this one, just because it was more awkward in terms of working out how high and how far across I wanted to actually mount it in this particular room. The reason for that is basically I wanted it so then it cleared all of this, everything at the bottom. Whether this stays or not, it's still at a decent height to where it's viewable comfortably. I didn't want it mounted too high, and I didn't really want it tilting forward too far either. Now obviously with this being an older plasma TV, it is going to have more of a bulge, and just on the back of the TV you can see there's a really old set of LED lights. In the video it might come across quite yellow. The light itself is actually more of a cool white, but because they've been on there for so long, they are starting to kind of die out by now. Other than that, just a little cable tidying going on down there, and that's probably about it. I was also thinking about, similarly to how I've got it downstairs with both the other TVs, where I've got my LEDs running around the back of the TV. I do actually have some LEDs set up in this room, and I was thinking about actually extending the cable all the way around, bringing it up and have another set run around the back of the TV as well. But obviously I need a few more cables, a few more extensions in order to do that. So that's something that if basically just stay tuned for, and possibly that might be coming in a future update. Forgot to mention something earlier on, so I have also upgraded this particular computer. It's basically been sat around for quite a few years with no usage, so I've recently basically just upgraded this to a SSD, gave it basically a brand new install of Windows 10, and even though it's probably not going to get much usage, but basically the odd time when I do actually need a PC, as you can see from this, I think it's something like probably about 28 seconds from completely off all the way booted up into the Windows desktop. So for such an old PC, this is a Phenom processor, I believe, Phenom 2 or something like that. It's a 6-core CPU, and basically I've recently done, and as you can see it's fully booted up. So if I just pull up the properties, let's take a look. So yeah, so this is a Phenom 2 X6, so 1055T processor, so it's basically 6 2.8 gigahertz cores. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, which is the maximum you can actually install on this particular motherboard. I did actually want to upgrade that as well, but seeing as that was already maxed out, it was kind of pointless adding any more into that. I did end up having to remove the original 2 hard drives. That was the problem with this PC, the fact that basically the original hard drives were failing. It was making a bit of a whining noise when you first switch it on sometimes, and I'd actually assumed that was the graphics card, but as it turned out, obviously it was the hard drive itself failing. And after a fair few days of troubleshooting, ordered a few bits and bobs off Amazon, so the SSD, and also the kit, a bracket mounting kit that you actually can get off Amazon as well. In total, it probably only cost me about, what, 40 quid, something like that, probably less than that. And basically it's up and running nice and fast, as you can see from basically just how responsive all of this is. So everything's, I mean, it's at the moment it's a clean install, so obviously there's not a lot on here, but essentially it does mean that this PC and also the TV will get a bit more use out of, I'll be able to get a bit more use out of them, rather than literally just having the PC stashed away and basically making no use of the TV. So that was another reason why I've actually gone with this particular setup. Obviously the computer being this low isn't ideal. To be honest, with it, just shut that down. With it being where it is, I'll probably need to get a little chair or something. But to be honest, I'll probably replace the keyboard. That's just one that my son had. It was one of his gaming keyboards. So I'll probably just replace the keyboard and mouse for a wireless setup, and that way I can actually come back down here and actually use it from here wirelessly, rather than having to go right there. And also obviously with the TV setup, it means that I can actually use that as the monitor whenever I want to actually look at something, maybe photo editing, video editing. But realistically I won't be doing too much of that. Maybe the photo editing side, but not much video editing on the PC itself. Most of that kind of stuff generally I'm going to be using either my phones or tablets for, because of how quick they are and how well they actually work. So that's it for this video. Obviously stay tuned for any potential upgrades further down the line with regards to this particular setup, and also the other ones downstairs as well.